Hello and welcome, friends. I hope everybody's having a great day so far. If you are new here, welcome. And I hope you'll consider hitting that subscribe button and sticking around. And if you're back, welcome back. I greatly appreciate all of the ongoing support. This is my channel, Jug and Stool Creative Gems, and I'm Tegan. And you've probably seen me already unbox this. If not, there is an unboxing video. And I just figured that I am going to show you how I use washi tape and do a little bit of a tutorial. I know a couple people have asked me how I've sectioned off my canvases and stuff like that. So yeah, basically what I do is I just kind of choose my washi. I usually do one for my border and then one for my sectioning. So I always start with my border. And what I do is I just pull back some of the plastic on the side that I'm going to tape down. And then sit there and play hunt for the end of the tape. Let's see. Hello. Where are you hiding, Edge? Aha. I found it. And so then all I do is I tape around the border of it and I get as close to the black line as I can and make sure that I'm also covering the glue. And so I just kind of start at the one end and slowly kind of line it up and work my way down, getting it as close to that black edge as I can, and then I run my finger along it. And it does not have to be perfect. I mainly do this just to kind of keep dog hair off of the extra glue around the outside. And as some of you who may have tried using washi tape in the past before, it can be known for not wanting to stick all the time. Lifting up on the edges, that's going to be pretty normal even by the time I'm done finishing the canvas. A lot of these edges will have lifted back up. Basically I get as close as I can and then I run my straightener kind of over it to stick it as best as I can. Not going for perfection, of course. But there, as you can see, I'll lift it up and you can kind of see that I've gotten it as close as I can to that black line and covering the glue. And I also, when I section off, you'll notice that I skip this little portion here where the schematics is, and that's just a preference. That's because I still like to use my schematics as I work on the canvas, and so I don't like to cover them. And then once again I do the same thing. So I kind of start up here at the corner. I like to try and overlap that piece, and then I kind of pull my washi down and out. And then once again, just kind of get it as close to that black line as I can, where the drill field actually starts. And then I bring it down, and then once I've hit that schematics, I give it a little trim. And then I just kind of push it down with my finger again. And then run that straightener across it just to kind of help it stick some more. And then as you can see, that's starting to get my framing for the canvas done. So I just continue to do that until I've got all 4 sides done. Nothing special. And like I said, I try to get it close to that black line as I can, but it does not need to be perfect. Okay, where'd I... Okay, I'm hiding scissors on myself. Alright, apparently I tucked the scissors under the canvas on myself. I do stuff like that all the time when I'm scrapbooking too. I'm always losing track of my scissors or my pencil or... Now once again, just kind of run that straightener along the edge where the washi is. And then we're almost done. I've got this one side left. That's the wrong washi. Let me just kind of get that corner set up. Close to the black line, and so it's not covering the schematic numbers. There we go. So this is only just one way to use the washi, is to kind of do this border. You don't have to. Like I said, this is a personal preference. And I do it just to kind of keep the dirt and dog hair off. I don't necessarily always keep it on after the fact. But I do have fun, and I do try to kind of match it to the whole vibe of the canvas. So as you can see, I skipped right over the schematic so I can still read all the symbols and all the DMC codes, but I've got it covering all 4 edges otherwise. So that's just one way that I use the washi, is as a border. And then the other way that I use it is to section off the canvas so that I work on it section by section. And once again, this is a preference thing. You can use release papers, or you can just go at it however you would like without even sectioning it off. This is just something if you choose to do and want to do, this is how I do it. As you can see from the drill, here goes that word, I don't know if I can never say it, drill field. What I'm going to try to do, because this one doesn't actually have any grid lines, is I will try to get roughly kind of in the middle of that row and like that row, for example, as best as I can, kind of keeping it as straight as I can, going across. So just kind of choose roughly how big of a section you like to work. If you like bigger sections, obviously make bigger sections. If you like smaller sections, make smaller sections. And this is going to be a tape that keeps ripping on me, isn't it? Well then, I probably chose the silliest tape to work with for this, but it matches so nicely. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to choose another tape, guys. Just sad. I like this one. I thought it was very kind of farmy with the wood grain, and yeah, this tape does not like me. Just give me a second here. What other washi do I have that'll work? Alright, well that sucks. I'll go for this one. Okay, so that washi was being a pain. It wanted to stick to the roll instead of be peeled off and used. Kind of like how that one is being. Don't tell me all my washi is going to be like this today. Hold on, I'm just going to find a washi that works and then I'll be back with ya. Okay, so it's official. My washi hates me today. I think I found a roll that's going to work for us here. So basically, like I said, what I do is I take roughly how big of a section I want to work. It's a total guesstimate, and once again, these sections are not going to be perfect. They'll probably all be slightly different sizes because I tend to just eyeball my sections. But once again, you just kind of go along the length of the canvas, and then I usually let it overlap a bit across the sides like this. Run your finger along it to help it stick down onto the plastic, and then that. And so this, the edging I do under the plastic, and then the sectioning I do right on top of the plastic. So as you can see, when I peel back, the tape isn't actually directly on it. If you do that, you may come across issues where it sticks to the drill field, and then you have to try to get that washi tape off, and that could be quite a mess. So now that I've got, this will be sectioned off as a row, and then what I'll do is I'll just kind of work down my rows, going roughly how thick I want. And so what's going to happen when I cut it is the way that I've sectioned it, I'm going to be cutting on top of this washi tape along here. So my next section will technically include what's hidden under that washi. So just kind of roughly keep that in mind when you're doing your sizes. Not that it'll make a huge difference in the long run, but it may bug some of you. And so I just kind of roughly guesstimate kind of where things start and end. And then I go through just like this. There. Now thereabouts. Sorry, I'm kind of mumbling and talking to myself there. That's a part of my creative process, I guess. I do that. So as you can see, you're starting to kind of get your rows taking shape. So let's see, I think I'm going to end up with two kind of bigger rows here. Let's go there. And then once again, when I'm sectioning off, if I'm sectioning it off close to the schematic field, I cut it a little bit short, just so no matter where I'm working on my canvas, I can always go back and look at the schematics on the upper or lower and reference that. That's just my own preference once again, and just how I kind of like to work on my diamond paintings. Obviously, if this is a technique that you do try, you'll kind of adjust and figure out what works best for you and the way you diamond paint. So yeah, and then once again, I just kind of get between those letters where there's that space where I think the, well, it's now going to be my columns end, and I just work the washi tape down the length of the canvas. And once again, it doesn't have to be perfect because I do, like when I'm working on this section, obviously when I cut it there, I'm going to fold it back. And so if I have to fold a little bit of this washi from the column, it's not a big deal. That's the nice thing about this. So it does not have to be perfect. But now you can kind of roughly see how the sectioning takes place. So there's a section. So this would be this, like for example, the section that I would work on. I would take my craft cutter, cut along there, fold the plastic back, use my cover minder, and I would work up until the folded kind of spot right there. So yeah, that's kind of just sectioning, and then I continue to kind of do that going all the way across. Once again, it's all just kind of eyeballing. Oh, and that'll happen. Your washi will rip sometimes. But that's okay. I'm just going to run it down the length of where it ripped. And as you can see, it didn't quite meet that spot, and that's fine. What I can do for that is I just go back with my washi, kind of overlap, and then continue on. Sometimes if you tug the washi, it's very easy to rip, so that can happen. But yeah, so this is just how I section my canvases, and I continue to go on. Alrighty, so there we go. Now this canvas is all ready to go. Everything's been sectioned off. And my canvas is prepped for starting it. So once again, I'll just bring it up so you can kind of see. Sorry, as I always bump my light. And then you can kind of see how I've guesstimated kind of roughly where the row or column ended. So yeah, that was just a quick little dirty how-to tutorial on how I section and use washi tape with my canvases. You can try this technique, see if it works for you. If not, there's also plenty of other ways to section off your canvases. There's release papers, which I will eventually get around to doing a video on that as well, as I do have some release papers, so I could show those who are interested in that. But yeah, so basically now I can just work on whatever section. The nice thing about this technique is if you're in an event and you know you only have a month to work on a canvas or whatever it is, you can say, okay, I need to get one section done a day. Or if it's a huge canvas, maybe it's 2 sections you gotta get done in a day. Or if it's a smaller canvas, then what ends up being 30 squares, then you know, okay, I can, if I don't get a section done a day, it's not a big deal, and it can kind of help keep you on track a bit too, which is always nice. So that is the end of this video. I hope this video is helpful for those of you who have been curious about sectioning off canvases with washi and how to do it. Like I said, all of these sections aren't necessarily the same size as it was eyeballed, but it's just kind of allows me to focus on work on one area at a time when I sit down and do a session, which I like. And then if I feel like working on an additional section, I can, but that all depends how much time you have. So yeah. I'll see everybody in the next video, and I hope you have a great one. Bye.